Good morning, my beautiful followers, or I should say early afternoon, because I am definitely doing my live a little bit later than I normally do when I am home. Usually I'm up and I'm on the live, but I got home late last night from Holbox, Mexico. Had a pretty easy, fluid time getting home. And so I feel really blessed that there was nothing got in our way. It was just really fluid, really flowing. Got on our million different kinds of transportation, and there was nothing out of the ordinary happened. It's pretty fluid and flowing, and so I felt really, really blessed. But this morning I took it kind of easy. Got my coffee. I am cheating and having a second cup of coffee this morning. Usually I'm a 1 cup of coffee kind of girl, but they serve these tiny little like shot glasses of coffee all week long, and I was like, I need more coffee. It was definitely a moment for me. Definitely a moment where I was like, I need more coffee. Can you just leave the pot, please? And they wouldn't leave the pot, but I got tons of coffee now. But so I got home, and this morning I got up and just took care of some of those things that, we all have to take care of when we get home from trips and things like that. And so it's been a beautiful, blessed morning. I see things popping in my world. I love when I go on trips and I come back and I have lots of consultation applications, and my schedule is booking out, and my clients are rocking it out, and my world is pretty much taken care of. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I call that shit in. I do. I really call that shit in. I manifest it. I just write it into reality as it is. And so it is. And I feel really quite blessed. I love it. And then I woke up this morning and I had a million things kind of going into my mind about what I could be talking with you lovely people about today, because I had this beautiful romantic trip, some really deep passionate sex, some really connective moments. There was definitely some triggers that happened on the trip, and I don't mean anything that the person I was with did, but definitely like triggers and reminders for, I think, both of us of past relationships and things and our own shit, because guess what? We all have our own shit. And so it was definitely a very spiritual in the term of internal work kind of trip, but also very playful and fun and connective and sexually passionate. And so I had so many different things kind of coming into my mind. And so really it's kind of a little bit of randomness today. A little bit of randomness, but definitely some lessons. I actually thought of this funny moment. There's this funny moment where for the days prior, my lover would just kind of reach into my beach bag. I had this big beach bag, and it had all my shit in it, and it had some of his shit in it too. All the mineral sunscreen and the organic mosquito repellent, because it like Holbox. If you ever go to Holbox, Mexico, please bring mosquito repellent. It was definitely a little bit crazy. Definitely a little bit crazy with the mosquitoes. But so he reached in, and I was like, oh, how dare you reach into my purse, because it was being used as my purse. And he had been doing it, and so I was just really giving him hell. It's like, how dare you reach into my purse? Don't you know a woman's purse and her pussy are sacred? And he laughed, and I kind of laughed too. And he's like, really? Like, a woman's pussy is just as sacred as her purse? And I was like, yeah, basically. And then later in the vacation, he reached over to grab a piece of food, and I was like, oh, another sacredness. Like, you're gonna eat my food? Don't you know a woman's food is sacred? And so we were joking, and it was fun, and it was playful. It really was. We totally were just kidding around with each other. But in truth, like, there is truth in that. There is truth in the sacredness of ourselves, of our moments. And then yesterday I wrote this article I hope many of you have read it, and if you have not, go read it. The picture is two hands. Actually, I was in bed with my lover and we were doing this, and I was like, oh, I need a picture. I need a picture of our hands, because that was a sacred moment for me. It was a sacred moment being held by him and just loved on and fed. And that's what it really came down to when I was talking about, because he was like, well, how do I get into a woman's purse? How do I get, like, what do you do to get into these places in your world, into a woman's life, into a woman's inner world? Like, how do I get your food? And it was playful and it was joking, but at the same time there was some truth to it of, you know, we hold a lot of things in our world very close to us, but if we feed our partners, if we feed them in so many different ways, they will open those spaces up. Now, that's not to say that we don't ever have points in our lives where there's things that are just sacred. Like, I have sacred intimacies with other people in my life. My best friend, I have sacred moments that nobody else gets to know about because they're very like personal conversations. Same thing with my lovers. There are sacred moments, and it's like, these are my intimacies with each person. And so I'm not saying that you should give everything up, because we all get to have these private moments, private things in our world. Like my journal is very sacred to me. Like, nobody reads my journal. Nobody reads my journal, because it is where I'm manifesting. It's where I'm writing my goals into reality. And if I want to share something, then that's different. But in general, my journal is sacred. My sex is sacred. My purse is sacred. My food is sacred to me. But there is this feeding process that we will, hold on, somebody's trying to message me. There is these sacred pieces that we hold that we can open up, and it's this feeding process. And that is something that I saw. I did not realize how kind of hungry I was for some of the kinds of love I received over the last few days. Different pieces, different intimacies, different connections. And I was like, ooh, I was hungrier than I thought. And in this feeding process, yes, my pussy opened. Yes, I didn't care that he was going through my purse, because I was like, go for it. Like, have fun. There's nothing in there that... But it was this opening process. It was, yeah, you can have some of my food. It's fine. Versus, if I wasn't being fed, I would have closed down. And especially in the sex, because I was joking. I'm like, you feed me right. You feed the pussy right, the pussy's going to open up deeper for you. You feed me right as far as food, I'm going to become more open to you. I'm going to be more magnetic. I'm going to be more connective. We don't want to be hungry in our relationships, and that's really where it all comes down to. It's this feeding process. And it's a feeding, I think there is lots of talk about women being fed, but men need to be fed in the same way. We sat there, and there was this moment, and he was walking through the hotel room yesterday, or the little villa, and I was like I just stopped and I looked at him, and there was a song, and I just took it in, and it was a beautiful moment. And it is these little moments that we feed our relationships, these little moments of hey, I see you. And I'm like, hey, sexy man, I see you right now. And there was a couple moments he fed me in the same way of you're looking good, you look so beautiful. And not just in the physical, but in the thank you, the sharing, the connection, the moments, the eye gazing, the pampering, the touches, the taking time, the intent. Because I can tell you, our trip did not go as intended in so many ways. It did not go as it was planned. But there is still this feeding, this beautiful intent in every moment. And though that is how we feed. That's how we take a moment and make it sacred. It's this breathing in, and that was my article yesterday of like really breathing in and being with the moment and not allowing ourselves to get into ego, not get into ego and fear, into worry, into self-criticism, because introverted ego is still ego. So if you're going, I'm not good enough, guess what? That's still your ego. That is still your ego. That is not your soul self. That is not your spiritual depth. That is your ego. And so we create these sacred moments with somebody, and we open up to a deeper level of sacredness with someone when, first of all, we are just present in the moment. We are just there with the person, loving the person, however they're coming across, whatever is happening in that moment, but truly loving them and being with them and soaking in the moment without our head chatter. Because the second our head chatter really gets involved, like, you're not going to stop your thoughts. This is not like you're going to, oh, I don't have any thoughts. But it's allowing your head chatter to own you, or letting your head chatter be in the background of your relationship and going, I see you, I hear you, but I'm over here feeling these feelings, enjoying this moment, really getting present with self and my partner. Or even just like, this goes beyond even just like sexual relationships. This goes into friendships and with your children and your colleagues and anybody important in your life. But there is this presence that needs to happen. And then we open up to more sacred moments. We open up to paying attention to those moments that are really important. And not even the moments that are already showing up, but when we are present, then we can also drop in and we can really allow ourselves to open at a different level. So yes, the pussy opens, the purse opens. I don't think the food opens. The food doesn't really open, but we're more willing to share our food as a woman. Sometimes I feel like a man, because I'm like, well, just feed me and tell me I'm pretty, and then I love food. I do. I love good food. I love good food. That is a way to Addison's heart, and pussy is a good meal. And some loving comments. But it is this sacredness, this dropping in, this feeding, because once we start to feed the heart, it is amazing how people transform. I've watched it with clients even, like once somebody is well loved, then they can experience well fucking. They can experience this opening, and they're being well, once you're well loved, so much more opens up. But the fact is, we get scared in our society of opening up and loving someone and being well loved. We hold these blocks, we hold this fear, this ego out there. But you have to love someone well. And I think it goes beyond, it goes beyond just the actions. Because I can tell you, if my lover, or as we were joking, my undefined man, he's gonna kill me, but my undefined man decided to just go through the motions the last few days, I can tell you I would not have felt well fed, well fucked, well loved. I would have felt like he was going through the motions. So I get a lot of men in my office, and women too, but I'm going to pick on you men for a second. I get a lot of men are like, but I bought her the dinner, we did this thing, and then I did this, and then I did that, and I spent the money. And it's like, yeah, but what was the intent behind that? And were you truly dropping in and loving that? Was the intent there? Was the intent to be present, or was the intent to get something? That's the difference. That is that like little switch. Same thing for women. Women, we are horrible about being like, well, I gave him the blowjob. I did it. Well, also, if you're interested in learning how to give better blowjobs, I have an oral intimacies class coming up in Dallas in like 2 weeks. So check my events calendar for that. Sorry, small promo, but and then a lot of women will be like, well, I gave him sex, so he should feel loved. And I'm like, no, what's the intent behind it? What's the energy? What's the energy? It's not what you look like. It is not what you're doing. It is the energy, the heart energy, the intent. That shit can't be faked. It can't be faked. We try real hard, but it cannot be faked. And so it is getting present and looking at your intention in doing things. It is definitely loving your partner in a truly as unconditional of a way as you can. Seeing their shit, seeing their light, and loving them anyway. And then feeding them their love language, feeding them their, like, seeing their wounds, and not feeding their wounds, but like as far as like helping them heal those wounds, because we all have wounds. And it's talking about it. And like there was a couple moments I was like, this is coming up, and he was like, this is coming up, and we had some beautiful conversations where we were able to really drop in even deeper, not because we were fixing each other's wounds, but it's like, I'm gonna love you through this. And so all that to say, really, really look at where are you truly opening up to your partner, to your friends, to your loved ones, whoever it might be. Where are you getting present? Where are you not present? Where do you need to get more present? Where do you need to just drop into the yummy feelings that truly are all around you, and you get to choose? And then also, are you holding moments sacred? Are you slowing the fuck down to go, this is a moment. This is a sacred moment. And guess what? It will never be there again. Our moments are like this. And we can do the exact same thing. And I promise you, the moments will never be the same. So tune into those sacred moments in your life. So, on a side note, I have 50% off consults right now. This is only for another few weeks, and then it's done. And my calendar is filling up. I have clients booking out weeks and in advance, and so get your ass on my calendar. This is a beautiful, perfect time for you to really jump into your work, to really choose to make a difference in your own life, because no one is going to fix your fucking life but you. So it is you jumping into your life and making the changes and getting a little uncomfortable. And yes, coaching might be a little uncomfortable. So I have a deal going on. It's my summer splash sale, sorry. So get on my list to do a consult with me and get your ass in gear for coaching. We can connect. And then I have a million events. I have so many events on my calendar coming up. I have Oral Intimacies on the 25th. Then I have the Cock Connective is a men's workshop on I believe it's August 1st. And then the 8th, I have Summer Orgasm Camp. I have a Tantric Alignment Puja. Things are popping at Addison Bell Coaching. And then also with Kendall Williams, that is doing several of those collaboratively. I know she has a ton of stuff going on, which is also found on my calendar, because that's how we roll. So you can go to addisonbell.net/events and see all of that. We are limiting our workshops and events because of the COVID. Got those Rona stipulations. So make sure you go and you get your ass on the list, because we will not have openings, because these workshops always sell out, and that is when the workshops are able to be at full capacity. Right now we are at limited capacity, so get your ass on the list, and don't wait till last minute. So I can't wait to see you guys there. Please like, share, and comment. Help me get my message out there, and go recover your life and have a beautiful, blessed day. Love you guys. Bye.